a fucking finger, man. Come on. I had a mineral can of mineral spirits thrown in my nose.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim of single domestic violence, and yes. It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
It doesn't.
You do not want to miss the end of this video. This video was recorded yesterday, the 24th. So please watch to the end to see JD's response from today, the 25th, on how this whole ordeal has affected him when asked by his lawyer. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Riri's Story Time. So as you can see from the intro, I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's still crime technically, because it's a crime how this girl got away with so much bullshit for so many years. But it's not normally the crime that I like to go over. I've just gotten so many requests on covering this topic that I finally just agreed to it. I have been watching this case. I have been following it so I can give my credits to Law and Crime, the Law and Crime channel on YouTube, and also Fox has also been covering this. So before I even start this video, I want to make sure that I give credit to those two networks, as that's where I've been getting a lot of my footage from. So this whole ordeal has been chaotic, to say the least. I don't understand how anybody even believed this. I don't know how anybody believed Amberheard. Immediately I could tell she's a liar. She's not even, if she's supposed to be an actress, I don't even know how she got some of these roles, because she's not an actress. Not a good actress. If you are a good actress, your ass would get on that stand and you'd be able to produce your tears. You'd be able to do all these things, but she's horrible at acting and lying. That, or she has amnesia. She just doesn't remember all the lies that she's done. So there are some times in this whole timeline up to thus, today, that have, there's funny things on here. Her lawyers mess up, JD's lawyers mess up. There's times that, the courtroom is laughing because of a comment that, a rebuttal that, Johnny Depp said. But let's just go through some of the things that I was able to just, put together, and I'll give my opinion, complete opinion, during and after.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh.
Next question.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was nerves, it was the beginning of the trial, and, perhaps he got, I think his last name is Rottenborn. I think he was just a little nervous where, this is a huge case right now, and the whole world, I'm not gonna say the whole world, but a lot of people are watching this case. So in my opinion, I think he was just nervous, although when he does cross-examine JD, he asks a lot of stupid-ass questions. But I'm going to give him a break and just think, he was just nervous. One of the things I did notice is that when he had mentioned Marilyn Manson, I believe that's his name, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sorry, I don't listen to his music. But he was telling him that he did give him a pill. And the reason why he gave him this pill was because he was talking too much, and he wanted him to kind of stop chattering so much. Well, even Amber's lawyer, Rottenborn, thought that was hilarious, and he started laughing at it. And if you look at the face that Amber had made when he started laughing, you'd understand why her team looks the way they look. I don't know if you watched yesterday's trial, but they had a psychiatrist come on, and when he first got on the stand, I'll be honest with you, I was like, okay, I mean, he knows his shit. You know, he's an expert. He's answering everything that, you know, Amber Heard's team is asking him. He sounds intelligent, like he knows exactly what he's talking about. But then came in JD's team. And I will say that he did a phenomenal job breaking that whole facade down, because even I thought, like, this guy's, you know, really highly intelligent. I mean, man, he's probably gonna, you know, they're probably gonna get some points for this one. But I'm glad I was proved wrong, as he literally spazzed out while he was on the witness stand.
Depp's other portrayals in movies, did that affect your analysis of processing speed?
Only I've seen him interact on interviews, and that was it.
Right.
When he wasn't in movies.
Right. But Willy Wonka doesn't matter to you? You see him in that movie, Charlie and Chocolate Factory? Did you look at that one when you were comparing his processing speed?
What the fuck was that?
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
You have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
No, you'll be happy to know I didn't see Willy Wonka I didn't see 21
Did
Jump
the
Street when it happened.
psychiatrist
Whatever it was about. No,
just
I did not.
spaz out?
All right. Wait.
So, I like to call him Mr. Burns. Do you remember him from The Simpsons? I haven't really watched TikTok today after yesterday's trial, but I can only imagine how many people on TikTok have made a video out of him with the little comb over, you know, and then him spazzing out and doing the whole. It's kind of like, okay, you talked that whole time about Johnny being on substance abuse and all this stuff, and you sure you aren't doing anything? Because I don't know what the hell that was. That was just weird. Moving forward, we have, and this is where, you know, it's funny because they talk about this whole time that a star is born, and that was supposed to be Amber Heard's moment in Aquaman 2, where the star is born. Womp, womp, womp. I don't think so. But I will tell you this. There was a star born, and her name is Camille Vasquez.
That when you left the courthouse after obtaining the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, you walked out to, quote, a sea of paparazzi and cameras, right?
That's correct.
You testified that you were surprised to see the sea of cameras.
That's correct.
Because it was quiet when you went into the courthouse that morning.
And the divorce had remained under the radar up to that point.
You testified that no one knew about your divorce, so you thought it was going to stay that way, right?
No, I always figured it would come out. I just was trying to buy time.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Heard?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time.
You knew they were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not.
She's lying.
I mean, I assume since it's a public building that there's that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility.
This is perjury.
But I was shocked.
Really?
Your publicist, Jody Gottlieb, was there at the courthouse with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So you anticipated that you might need your publicist?
I thought the filing might make, I was told the filing was public, that it would be impossible. There's no way for you to do a private filing. And then the second that I filed for the TRO, it would be public news. I didn't expect all these photographers and cameras to show up at the courthouse in real time, but they did.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit
here is
12B,
where Amber doesn't understand
which is
that.
a clip
Yes,
from your
it
divorce
might be
deposition, and
public knowledge.
you have at page If I can alert
That
you,
doesn't
you have the
mean it's going
transcript
to be
there,
public
page
knowledge that day.
74,
I think they
lines
gotta put it in the
22
paper and
You said
whatnot.
77?
So she's
74.
full of shit. But
line
I'll let
22
Camille do her job because
through 75, line
this is
13.
where she proves her wrong. Let's go back to 2016, Amber.
72 lines.
74, line 22 through 75, line 13.
And this is what I mean by perjury. She knows damn well that she's the one who alerted the media. And it just makes me wonder if they're going to charge her with perjury for lying.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Okay. If we could please play and display to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280.
Executive responsible.
Ms. Heard, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, "I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him"?
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry. And I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard?
I sure did.
You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't
TMZ
know how
owns
to do
the
that.
copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they
owns.
pay you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. It is not, that's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not
and
when
years.
you were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way. Right. What extortion?
Really? Really? This is what this trial has been doing to me. Literally lies on the stand about notifying TMZ. They do have copyrights to that. She's so full of shit. She's so full of shit. I don't know how she thinks that if anybody believes this girl on the jury, then something's seriously wrong with them. I just don't understand how she just continues to lie and lie. But the thing is that she forgets that she's already testified to a lot of these things back in the UK trial. So she knows how to answer these things already. She knows where she's fucked up in the past. So she tries to clean it up. But JD's team is pulling stuff from back then, and they're showing it to her, like this whole thing where she literally, yeah, you dumbass, you got caught. You got caught lying. So she goes on with this story that she went to the courthouse and then she had this bruise on her face. And it's weird because this bruise moves from Exhibit A here. It moves to here. And it's like, interesting. somewhere in these little snippets, I do have where she slips up and she says, I used my Bruise kit. And Camille caught on to that. And she could be snarky, but she's literally, Amber's literally walking into what Camille wants her to walk into. She's doing it very strategic, and it's showing the jury and the world that she's not as innocent as people try to portray her to be. She can be this conniving, lying, don't get me started, okay. So, this next little snippet is Camille pretty much letting her know, you know, we're taking photo shoots at the courthouse. She literally brought her publicist with her to the courthouse. And for her to say that it's a public building and she knew that the news would get a hold of it. I have filed divorce before, and how this works is it gets put in the newspaper, and then yes, it is public knowledge. I don't think anybody even knew who the hell you were. I didn't even know who you were. She wasn't anybody like, she wasn't a superstar, and she's not a superstar to me. So is that why she sold it to TMZ? Because she was trying to get dirt on Johnny? Because who the hell else is going to know who the hell you are? You walk into a courthouse and you think you're not big shit. I mean, you're just not. But obviously you set this up because you wanted that media to be there, because you weren't a big star like Johnny. And it's sad that, and I'm talking to her, I wish she would watch my video, and I wish she would say something smart, because see, I'm not Johnny. At any rate, she literally wanted to become in the limelight, and the way she went about it was just so malicious. Just malicious. And to me, you know, I'm a firm believer that you reap what you sow. Everything you do on this earth, it comes back to you, okay? And if you do good, good comes back to you. If you do bad, that bad's gonna come back to you. Well, she must have been doing some pretty egregious shit, because not only is Johnny getting a front row seat to this, the whole world is getting a front row seat to this. So she must have been doing some, just, I mean, defamation, it's more than defamation. I mean, she's an evil narcissist. This girl is, and Johnny should have known better, marrying this girl who is, oh my God, what, damn near 13, 14, I don't even know. You could have been that girl's daddy, okay? You looking for a woman, I can hook you up with somebody. But let's go to this next
foundation first, concealer, and then on top of that, I used a Bruise kit. Not a Bruise kit, it's a theater makeup kit, a color correction kit.
You have a mark on your face, right, Miss Heard?
Yes.
You didn't use your Bruise kit this time to cover it up?
No, it was the only day I actually walked out of my house without makeup on. I had to be stopped. My best friend saw me in the bathroom starting to put makeup on and told me not to.
So did anybody else hear that? She literally said, is that the day that you didn't use your Bruise kit? And she was like, no, I mean, she admitted to that shit. She just didn't catch on to it. So I get so frustrated with women and men, because obviously both can be, you know, people who have to go through this DV. And it's sad that people like Amberheard are just doing no justice for this movement at all, for the ones who actually do suffer. I do want to talk a little bit about her supposedly busted lip. So if you look at the pictures and you look at them closely, it looks like she has a cold sore. And it looks like it's scabbing over and it's trying to heal. Now, I wanted to see if there was anything more recent so I can, you know, have something to go off of. And I went on her Twitter page, and in 2021, She's laying on a couch reading a book, and she has red lipstick on. And now remember, on her lip, it was here, where Johnny supposedly popped her with, you know, all his chunky rings and all. When you look at this picture from 2021, she literally has a bruise right here, and her lip on this side, underneath her red lipstick, has a scab that it looks like she's trying to cover. To me, they should make her ass get tested for HSV, because I don't think, and to me, it's a good possibility that she could have HSV1. I mean, maybe that's what her makeup artist was talking about, that she had to cover, you know, her this lip, because I have seen people, I also worked in the medical field, and I have seen people with cold sores, and I mean bad cold sores, where they are horrible looking, and they look like a busted lip, but they also get crusted over, and her shit is crusted over. So I just don't play into that. I don't. I also think that what's sad is that Johnny got taken advantage of. And not to say that Johnny's innocent, okay? But at least he's owning up to his shit, right? They want to bring this case up, and they want to say all these things about Johnny being, you know, addicted to, you know, drugs. He was doing cocaine. He's on the knot. You know, all this stuff that they're saying about him. He's admitted it. Like, you've already taken everything from me. What the fuck else do you want? To me, I think Johnny, either way it goes, if he wins or loses, he still really wins, because now the whole world has seen Amber for who she really is. And what's sad is that he owned this whole floor, all these penthouses on the you know, top floor, and I think there was 5 of them. And not only did he allow, you know, some of his friends to stay in these penthouses for free, rent free, he let her friends stay there as well. And I know one of them, I think her name's Raquel, her ex-husband, says that, you know, that he offered to pay rent, but, you know, Johnny, being the sweetheart that he is, was pretty much like, you know, no, that's okay. And I think that he really does, like, his love language must be, you know, gifts, because he took these people on vacations. They didn't pay for them vacations. And all these people that she used, because her team knows that they don't have enough to stand on, that they have like 75 witnesses, okay? And out of all these people so far that have spoken about this, they all keep saying the same thing. Have you ever seen Johnny hit Amber? No, I have not seen that. None of them can say, except for her sister, who even she is lying, because I have read her old boss's deposition paperwork, where she states, where her sister Whitney, or whatever her name is, I'm not team Amber, as you can see, but she literally said her sister would beat her ass. She was even on a reality show, and the girls that she was hanging out with at the pool were like, did you get your ass whooped by your sister? Like, I know you could take Amber on. So I think that her sister's trying to, of course, she's her sister, she's trying to protect her. I don't think I would lie on the stand for that, because that's perjury again. But everybody else, other than her sister, is saying they have never seen Johnny hit Amber. You know what I think? I think that this bitch was going into the bathroom, and number one, because of her little slip up about this bruise kit, she was either putting on that bruise herself, and that's why that motherfucker kept moving all over her face. And you think about these recordings that, you know, that she was recording this whole time. It's like his mother had just passed. You know, he's And that one video that TMZ has rights to, you know, he's slamming these cabinets and he's upset and whatnot. And she's recording him on her iPad. And that same recording, like I said, TMZ owns that. How else would they get a hold of that? And I know that she tried planting that seed that her sister was selling stuff to the media because, you know, her ass was a drug addict as well. To me, it just sounds like this bitch had this planned out. She saw Johnny Depp. She even said in the beginning, I was reading back that she really didn't even know who Johnny was. Bitch, how don't you know who Johnny is? You don't remember Crybaby? And for those of y'all who don't know that joke, there was that lady who pulled that whole thing in the court where she was like, Johnny, it's your baby. If you are not a true Johnny Depp fan, let me tell you exactly what that was in reference to. If you watch the movie Crybaby, which is back from God knows what, but that movie was the shit. My sister and I used to watch that over and over and over. Oh my God, Vanessa and I had that whole thing memorized. We knew that whole movie. And Ricky Lake was his sister. She was in that movie as well. But there was a girl on there who was just crazy over Johnny. And she literally wanted to lie just to get that, you know. It's funny because she lied in front of the media saying, oh, Johnny, I have your baby. And to me, that was what that was in correlation with. I don't think that the lady was trying to, if you're a Johnny fan, you would understand. But that's what, to me, what happened yesterday. Now, back to what I was saying. I think that Johnny was just used. And I also think that all these other women who have dated Johnny, and this is another place where Amberheard fucked up, is when she said all she thought was Kate Moss in the stairs. And you can see on I want to say Ben Chu's face, he literally turns around and he's like, yes, you know, because he knows now they can use Kate Moss as a witness, and she's actually going to testify on Wednesday on Johnny's behalf. I have went through some of her interviews, and she said that Johnny was the only man who really took care of her. And so many years had went by, and she would cry and cry and cry because she loved him and she missed him. And he would give her the best advice on, you know, being able to keep your life private, away from, you know, the media and whatnot, so you can still have some type of normalcy. So let's go back to the next clip.
Every day in court, I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay. So back to October of 2018, this was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would agree with me?
That is correct.
Okay. And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp?
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote, right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the settlement, $7 million to charity, and I fulfilled the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after.
Look at her face.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
All right.
No.
N-
Ms. Hurt,
I-
this is really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection, and we'll just move forward.
Thank you.
Let's move forward. Next question.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Hurd?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement...
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Hurd,
entire
Ms.
house
Hurd,
at one
respectfully,
time. You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Hurd.
All right, next question, please.
Thank you. That statement isn't true today, as you sit here today, is it?
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But
to
you didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no, right,
obligations.
Ms. Hurd?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges because I've been sued.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to. Is that correct, Ms.
I
Hurd?
disagree with your characterization of that.
What? Man, that was hard to watch. Wow. Why much? While you're on the stand? I mean, for somebody to be this star, this good, she was supposed to be this, okay, Maria. Girlfriend, there's a difference between donate and pledge. I don't know how you use those two together. Maybe that's a rich person thing. I have no idea. It still sounds crazy to me. You'll have to excuse me too. I'm in my bedroom because I have people working in my house because my baby, my firstborn, I'm just gonna tell you he's in his 20s, okay? My baby is coming home and he's bringing his baby. So I get to finally meet my grandbaby. So I'm stuck in here and I'm not used to being in here and this thing keeps moving. So I apologize. At any rate, let's move forward.
Dollars. People were saying this is all about the money. But then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. Yeah. It's called the American Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard
I wanted
of.
nothing.
She said, I wanted nothing. Just sat there with that bold-faced lie. And that goes back to wanting that praise in the media. Like, look, I took this $7 million and I donated it. Although I had it for 13 months and I didn't pay my dues because Johnny sued me. Even though I didn't know he was gonna sue me. Really? Really? You know you did want something, because even after their divorce, record states that she was trying to take Johnny back to court and get spousal support and had the audacity to ask for $50,000 a month. And if y'all pull up these records online, you will see that her ass wanted $10,000 for vacations, $2,000 for just clothes. I'm sorry, but I was watching the whole thing today and I saw how the witness for JD's team pulled her numbers, like her tax records, and in the last 10 years, this girl has only made between, I'm gonna give her up to like maybe $3 million is what she had made from like 2005 to 2013 or 14, and he went up to $3 million. And you got people testifying that this is supposed to be an upcoming star, and the most money that she's made is $2 million for a movie that hasn't even came out yet. Don't get me started on Walt Disney and Warner Brothers. But she sat there and she lied again. Told people, now if you use those two words together, right? Then why didn't you say that on the show? I pledged this $7 million. But instead, the verbiage that she decided to use was, I donated this $7 million. I wanted nothing. Okay. Do you know that every time she has someone go up there to testify, what I've noticed is that JD's team is asking them, and how much are you getting paid to testify today? The range has been between $500 an hour up to $1,000 an hour. And the lady who got shot down in her testimony today, who was there yesterday, talking about the agents, and she knows what Jason Momoa is going to get paid for this movie, which to me that was a breach of confidentiality. She should not have shared that with the whole freaking world. I'm sure Jason Momoa didn't want her to, put his business out there. But at any rate, she got blasted. She tried to compare Amberheard to Zendaya, I'm sorry, the young lady who's been on freaking Disney since she was younger. She went in to go do all the Spider-Man movies. She tried to compare her to Jason Momoa himself. She tried to compare her to Wonder Woman, who has also played in the Fast and Furious, amongst other movies. Everybody she compared her to, you couldn't compare her to, because the bitch don't have any background. She's not a star. She hasn't done enough movies. So to sit here and say that Johnny Depp has ruined her character is just totally obscene to me. I mean, really? You think that? You just got caught up by saying that you donated money that you never really donated. Let's go forward. And I do want to say this, just a reminder that this video is made just for entertainment purposes. This is my own opinion. Again, you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, and we can agree to disagree. So let's talk about when they went to the premiere of Mordecai. Amberheard allegedly says that Johnny Depp pretty much whooped her ass that day. He put his knee on her back, and he was like putting his knee on her, and he was hurting her. Now, if someone's doing that to you, you're going to have some type of bruising. But she didn't. And when she got asked by Camille, well, do you have pictures of that? Of course she didn't have pictures of that. She didn't have pictures of a lot of things, but she had pictures of the mirrors that were written on, staging photos with cocaine in it. She had pictures of that. But you would think for a person who just got her ass whooped by somebody who wears all these chunky rings, you're taking a picture of the mirror. Why not put your ass in front of the mirror so the whole world can see? Why? Because there was nothing to see. That's why. So let's move forward.
And when I walked into the hallway, he grabbed me by the arm and slammed me up against the hallway wall, and I kind of struggled with him, tried to push him off of me, and I managed to get out of his grasp enough to take a few steps, and I curved around and went into the closet. And by the time I made it into the closet, he had me by the hair, and what felt like he was just wailing on me, but in a really sloppy way, like hitting the back of my head, and kind of wrestled me down to the floor. I mean, it felt to me like I didn't even have a fair shot, because I wasn't facing him or looking at him. I was walking away from him.
So have you had fair shots in the past?
Or else, you know, I would have at this point even like I would have tried to defend myself more, but I didn't. I kind of felt like it didn't see it coming, and he just wrestled me down to the ground. And I remember he was screaming at me. I mean, like really screaming loud.
She's thinking.
And what I remember of that is trying to get up and him kind of wrestling me back down, and at one point put his knee on my back. It was kind of like kneeling on my back. And I just had this like struggle with him.
She can't even cry.
And I look at him and he's still got his glasses on. I just remember looking at him and thinking that was so, I mean, he just looked like he hadn't been through anything, you know, he still had his glasses on, sunglasses. And he was screaming at me that he hated me, that it was over, he didn't want to marry me. He was disgusted, he made this mistake, it was a big mistake, and everyone hated me.
Is he lying though?
And I remember crying.
You don't cry.
On the floor.
On the rug again? Was this rug dirty too?
More than anything, I was heartbroken. I thought maybe he was serious. I thought maybe, God, he doesn't love me. Maybe he really feels this way. It broke my heart. Broke my heart. I wanted to marry him so bad. This is the man I loved, you know. Yes, it was awful at times, but I loved him and what he
Objection,
was
Your
saying.
Honor, non-responsive.
Look how she stopped.
Overruled. What he was saying hurt just as bad as anything else. I just remember that he left me on the closet floor, and as embarrassing or
Thinking.
as embarrassing as it is to say,
Thinking.
I went up to him at some point. I don't know how much time had passed. He was sitting at the piano in the living room of the hotel room that we had.
She don't even know what the horrible
Hard
acting.
to understand. It's hard for me to hear myself say, but I just wanted it to stop. I wanted things to just be okay.
My dog got stung by a bee.
And I just sat next to him on the piano, and I just leaned my head on his shoulder, and of course I was mad, and felt it was horrible what he'd done. But on the other hand, I wanted us to be okay.
Girl, where are your tears though?
Could just put I could put the physical stuff in a box, and I just kept going back on how much I love this person.
Put yourself in a box.
So
This is horrible acting. I don't know what she's wiping because there ain't nothing to wipe.
Makeup on and went to the premiere with him and walked the red carpet with him, and I remember in the car checking my phone obsessively for pictures because my dress was backless. Of all times to have a backless dress. And then I was just looking at pictures of us on the red carpet. It was surreal because I was checking for bruises and making sure that nothing, like there would be no marks on me, and we just looked like this
No sympathy. No sympathy for me. Oh, this red dress? So I'm surprised she hasn't claimed that she used her back bruise kit. But look at her back. She has a tattoo, apparently. You can see the shadow of the drawstrings that she has on this dress. Does it look like somebody was beating her back?
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 1229. For the record, it's at 1101 through 1209. I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 1229?
Yes.
All right, 1229.
Just goes to
want
show
it
you
in its entirety?
Yes,
how
please.
fucking psychotic
1229
this girl
in
is.
its entirety.
They said multiple personalities. Let's go with quadruple personalities.
No. Oh, no, a hug will save it all. All this, everything we just been
I
through.
just wanted to touch you.
Really? After all this shit you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all
a
this
hug.
shit you fucking accused me of? You
Yes,
want to touch me?
please stop me. Please stop. Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to take it back.
We did that last night. It's fine. That was good enough. No, because I'm nothing to you. And I will always be nothing to you.
Calm.
What? You're not my shrink. No, you're in fucking home. No, we'll never see each other again. You won't even don't take my fucking glasses off. You don't like fucking looking at not my fucking eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was in the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes, and got my TRO.
And he tells you, you will not see my eyes again, doesn't he?
Yes, he does in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you, right, Miss Heard?
He can't.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you on direct is, why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 357A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. And for the record, it's 2122 through 2140.
And see what the jury and judge think.
You were asked by Ms. Vasquez about why Mr. Depp won't or can't look you in the eye. And she read out, or she played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
I do.
And that was during the media.
This is where I feel bad for Elaine.
What, if any, production did you make to the plaintiffs of your medical records with the EMT?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
Camille's not lifting up.
If you want to lay a foundation.
Do you know whether the records, medical records from your EMT were produced in discovery in this
Objection,
case?
Your Honor, lack of foundation calls for speculation.
I'm asking.
Overruled if she knows.
Thank you.
Yes.
And do you
I feel so bad
recall?
for her right here.
I'm trying.
Poor thing.
What, if anything, did the medical records reflect?
I think she
about
gonna
your
throw in the
needs?
towel.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you have injuries to your nose?
Yes.
Please describe those to the jury.
I have
I'm going to
a bunch of scar tissue.
I'm going to object to the extent it calls for hearsay and lack of foundation
Overruled.
and improper expert opinion.
I don't
Now,
have
if
any
you
more
notice,
questions. All right.
she tells
You need to
her
have a seat next to your
to
attorney,
go sit next to her attorneys, but instead she literally walks out of the
I think that
courtroom.
is so comical when she acts like she's Johnny and, you know, goes into that funny voice of, you know, trying to imitate Johnny. I when it comes to the attorney, Elaine, again, I don't know how true it is, but if Amberheard is really, because if you notice, even her friend, her quote unquote people, her quote unquote best friend, Raquel, stated that they got into a physical altercation. So if you're getting into a fight with your best friend, what makes you think that she's not going to curse somebody out? I mean, there was even a show where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's father were playing this trick on her, and she was ready to fight these supposedly fans who were just taking pictures and whatnot, and you know, the cameras come out and they're like, oh, you're on whatever show it was. So I think that she is a little feisty, and she likes to, you know, beat up on people. So I can only imagine what that whole team is going through. Another thing I noticed was whenever Johnny would enter the courtroom, he gets, you know, his hand shook by his lawyers. He, you know, greets everybody on his team. He greets the fans that are in the courtroom, and, you know, they'll pull his seat out for him. If there's a woman sitting next to him, like Camille or one of the other attorneys, female attorneys, he'll pull the seat out for them, being a gentleman. And then when you look at Amber's side, and somebody must have been watching TV this weekend, because as of last week, when Amber would walk in, her team was not saying, it was like, good morning. I don't even know if they were saying that much, but they literally, she just went, oh, you're not going to pull my seat out? Oh, you're not going to pull my seat out? Oh, okay, I'll pull my own seat out. Nobody is like friendly over there, and they're so not organized. I mean, literally, the judge has been asking for shit since like last week. Like, this is your homework. You have to have this into me because we're going to cut this before Memorial Day. At any rate, as of this week, what I found to be weird is that all of a sudden Amber walks in and she is giving hugs and kisses to her lawyers. She gives a hug and a kiss to Elaine, and, you know, she's turning around like, good morning, how are you? Yeah, you know? And she's, instead of having that, because we're like day 20 something, you know, she's had that stone face, that resting bitch face, you know, the whole time. That's all she's had. And now all of a sudden, you know, I'm sure, and of course this is against the rules. You're not supposed to sit there and talk to your client while you're going through this whole process. But I'm sure they're giving her tips like, you're coming off like you look mean, you look like you're a bitch. I'm sure somebody's coaching her, because she has went from dramatic to attitude to shut the fuck up to, oh my God, I'm scared because he almost walked into me, to now I'm gonna hug everybody and good morning, how are you? Girl, please, okay? Anybody can see through that bullshit. Even Ray Charles himself can see through that bullshit, okay? So, let's move forward, shall we? I had told myself I wasn't gonna let this video go over 30 minutes, but apparently I'm almost at an hour. I'm pretty much trying to take the last 3 weeks and put it into this video, and I'm probably gonna have to do a part 2. We'll see. There's the last 2 things I want to show you is her reaction to when Johnny Depp gets up and he's getting ready to go on the break, and he normally goes out that door. Well, she's on the witness stand, and she comes down the witness stand and she sees him, and she makes sure like the judge and the deputy, you know, see her, and she's like she's afraid of him. Although this whole time she has been just staring at him in the courtroom. And I know her ass is over there just dying to say something because you know she got to be jealous of Camille because Camille's sitting over there lollygagging with Johnny Depp. At any rate. And then the clip after that is when this girl has the audacity to pose for a picture. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that she like did a bump on the stand. I don't think that's what she did. Now, what I do think is because you do see her, she grabs this tissue and instead of blowing your nose, she inhales and then she pauses and she looks like, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get the picture? Okay. It just goes to show you how self-centered, doesn't give a fuck about anybody else but herself. I'll let you be the judge. Really? Is it that serious? I have to play that back.
And I had my friends out with my girlfriends there to support me as per usual.
So Michelle, can you
Here she goes.
272, please?
She literally and pose. Oh, you got it? Oh, you got it? Okay, great. Now let me clean my nose now with my fingers, even though I have a Kleenex in my hand.
Mr. Depp communicate with
Girl, please.
you by text while you were apart, while he was finishing the details.
Now I don't know. It's going to be, I want to say it's going to be a landslide. And I really hope so for Johnny Depp because he deserves justice. You know, this was somebody who just came from nothing and wanted to take him for his money. That's pretty much what my opinion. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. Let's just agree to disagree. Other than that, thank you so much if you actually made it to the end of this video with me, because trust me, I'm sitting here like, wow, I really did a video this damn long. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I am excited because I am almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I know that might not be a lot to some people, but to me, it's a lot. And I look forward to continuing to grow this channel with your support, because if I don't have your support, I don't have a channel. So I know in the beginning of this video, I asked you to stand by as it was recorded yesterday, and as of right now, we are at lunch with the trial, and just wanted to share Johnny Depp's response to his lawyer when she asked him pretty much what this whole thing has done to him. And I have his response, and that'll follow. And also, look forward to another video as someone, a past employee from TMZ, has, I don't know if they volunteered, but I'm wondering if they're about to spill the beans on Amberheard coming to them to expose Johnny. So we'll see.
Ms. Heard's testimony at this trial.
I'm sorry?
What has it been like for you to listen to Ms. Heard's testimony at this trial?
Objection to relevance, Your Honor.
Oh, overruled.
Insane. It's insane to hear heinous accusations of violence, sexual violence, that she's attributed to me, that she's accused me of. I don't think anyone enjoys having to split themselves open and tell the truth. But there are times when one just simply has to, because it's gotten out of control. Horrible. Ridiculous, humiliating, ludicrous, painful, savage, unimaginably brutal, cruel, and all false. All false. I wanted no human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us. But I have never in my life committed sexual battery, physical abuse, all these outlandish, outrageous stories of me committing these things and living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to bring the truth out. So this is not easy for any of us. I know that. But no matter what happens, I did get here, and I did tell the truth, and I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right.
So thank you for joining me today, and remember, don't let anyone steal your joy.